This, and we will go ahead and get started. So welcome everyone to the Introduction to Part-Time Master of Social Work info session. Happy Valentine's Day also. um, so we just did some introductions before I started recording, but I'm Shayna Peterson, she, her pronouns. I'm an associate director in the Office of Admissions and Recruitment at the Brown School at WashU. I'll let Marcia introduce herself one more time.
Yeah, thanks, Shayna. I'm Marcia Ford. I use pronouns she, her. I'm a professor of practice and director of the part-time program at the Brown School, and I'm a Brown School alum. And I didn't mention in the introduction a few moments ago, but I definitely want to put a plug now that we are excited to celebrate our 100th anniversary. We've been celebrating 100 years of excellence in social work education at the Brown School this year. And we are looking forward to the next 100 years with a continued dedication and focus on equity to ensure fairness and justice for our communities. And we are committed to impact to create meaningful and measurable improvements in people's lives. So why don't we talk a little bit about some of the specifics of the part-time program? Oh, did you need to go over housekeeping stuff,
Yeah,
Shane?
that's,
Okay.
I'll just to note, yes, today's session is being recorded. We asked, this is a Zoom meeting, so it says keep yourself on mute, for a small group. So I'm going to override that direction. And just if you have a question, feel free to come off mute or put it in the or put it in the chat, and then we'll be sure to get to that. And then, of course, if you have any questions that don't get answered or if they're more personal in nature, just feel free to reach out to our office, Brown Admissions at woostel.edu. The topic today is the Part-Time Master of Social Work program. So want to just make sure everyone knows what the content is. It sounds like everyone does here. So.
All right. So our part-time program may be completed, or our part-time option for our MSW program may be completed in as little as 3 full years, and that includes summer sessions. It's a year-round program, so you would attend classes fall, spring, and summer in each academic year. We designed our curriculum in a way that was thoughtfully planned to address contemporary challenges in unique and impactful ways. We emphasize evidence-based practice, where our decisions and interventions are informed by the best available research. Our curriculum focuses on equity across multiple dimensions to ensure that students are aware of the systemic nature of inequality and are prepared to create solutions in public policies, community development, as well as individual care settings. Our curriculum teaches students to recognize and challenge power imbalances and systemic oppression. And we integrate insights from fields like public health, urban planning, education, and law to create transdisciplinary collaborations. Finally, we embedded flexibility in our curriculum, allowing students to tailor their learning experiences while you balance work or other life commitments. We have 3 concentration areas of study from which you may choose during your MSW program. We have the mental health concentration, social impact leadership concentration, or the children, youth, and family concentration. The mental health concentration is our most popular and largest concentration, both in the part-time program offering as well as our full-time student population. The mental health concentration prepares students with a clinical focus to address mental health challenges in individuals as well as systems. Students who want to work with youth and families typically choose to pursue studies in a track of the mental health concentration called the child behavior track. The part-time program was conceptualized to meet the needs of working professionals. We have developed a program that is accessible and maximizes both in-person and remote-based learning methods. Our intent with this format was to allow a great deal of flexibility, helping you reach your career goals while you balance the demands of being a student with family or perhaps work or other life commitments. The program is based on a cohort model. This means that students with whom you enter the program will be your classmates in most of your classes as you progress through a sequenced curriculum. Our classes meet in a variety of settings. In addition to a traditional in-person format, some of our courses are offered remotely. For those classes, you will attend courses online synchronously, meaning live or at the same time with your classmates and your instructor. You might be asked to complete asynchronous content that's completed independently via recorded lectures, designated readings, or other assignments. In addition, we take advantage of intensive weekend learning formats, and that's where students meet in person over a series of weekends during a semester. The sequencing of classes for the part-time program allows students to take up to 8 credit hours each semester. In order to maintain your part-time status with the university, you may only take up to 8 credit hours. The classes that the part-time students take are the same courses that full-time students experience. We don't have separate classes per se for the part-time students. They are if you take human behavior as a part-time student, it's the same human behavior course that a full-time student takes. Depending on the concentration, mental health, children, youth, and family, social impact leadership, and the electives that you choose, you will attend classes that are filled with colleagues from the part-time cohort as well as full-time students. So let's shift to the academic and student support you will receive as a student at the Brown School. A cornerstone of social work education is field education or practicum. That's where students integrate classroom knowledge and real-world experience to acquire and demonstrate the skills and competencies that are fundamental to social work practice. Students will complete 960 hours, which is equal to 8 credit hours of practicum across foundation and concentration practicum experiences. The primary focus of the practicum is to put the skills you learn in your courses into practice at your practicum site. At the Brown School, students select their own practicum sites. We don't assign students to a practicum site. We have over 400 partner organizations, and we also have an opportunity to complete practicum hours at your current place of employment if you work in the social service arena and work at an agency that provides services either at the micro, meso, or macro level of social work. From day one at the Brown School, you will have a team of advisors working to support you. We engage in holistic advising for all MSW students, full and part-time. This means that you will interact with 3 to 4 different advisors during the course of study at the Brown School. You have an academic advisor who will ensure that you are registered for the classes you need and provide you with information regarding academic support resources. You will be assigned a faculty advisor, and that's a faculty member who is an expert in your chosen concentration of study, mental health, children, youth, and families, or social impact leadership. They will help you connect your classroom experiences to real-world opportunities and help advise you regarding your career goals. And then finally, you will have a field faculty advisor to assist you with your practicum search and guide you through that field experience. In addition to your advisors, you will have a team of supporters guiding you through the MSW program. All of the programs and offices that are listed on this slide are located in the Brown School and dedicated solely to serving MSW students, with the exception being the Center for Career Engagement. That's actually a WashU wide support service, but we do have an individual who is dedicated in that office who is dedicated to serving Brown School students and actually has their office in the Brown School. Our WashU students also receive support through, as I was saying, our Center for Career Engagement. Staff in that center work with our students to provide support in search for jobs, resume building sessions, career fairs, mock interview opportunities. I can't stress enough how significant the support is that our students get from the Center for Career Engagement. That's a great service for all WashU students, but Brown School students for sure. So our Brown School graduates are leaders, they're change makers, they're innovators. We are a driving social change. We are a driving force in social change in a variety of settings and positions. As you can see, we have graduates who have worked in mental health centers. They've served as therapists, case managers. They've worked in fundraising and development. They've become managers and leaders and researchers. So you are joining when you graduate from the Brown School, you are joining a group of individuals who are creating that social change that we need to see in a variety of settings. So I'm going to stop and ask if you have any specific questions, maybe before, or maybe we'll hold questions till the end. I don't know. What do you want to do, Shayna? Talk about funding your degree, or?
We can definitely pause for a second
Yeah.
and see any questions about like curriculum,
Yeah.
student services.
Okay. Well, if you think of any, let us know.
Thanks, Mark.
Everybody's always interested in the money piece.
Right.
How am I going to pay for this?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm here for. Sorry.
I'm a little, so I'm going to talk more about funding, application, timeline, things like that. So funding is obviously a huge consideration for students. So we want to make sure that you really understand the costs, and also understand your options in making your MSW degree a reality. First of all, our tuition structure for part-time students is a little bit different than it is for our full-time students. So our part-time students pay per credit hour, which is $1,600 per credit hour for this current academic year, 2024 to 2025. New rates for the year will be released at some point. They typically go up just slightly each year, but this is what our per credit charge is for this academic year. As Marcia mentioned earlier, part-time students will take up to 8 credits per semester, and part-time students go to school year-round, so fall, spring, and summer. So that comes out to 18 to 24 credit hours per year, bringing the total cost to $28,800 up to $38,400 based on the current per credit hour cost. Few options for funding the degree. Most Brown School students are going to pay for their degree using a variety of sources. So the first one being institutional funding, which means Brown School scholarships. These are scholarships that are awarded at the time of admission. They are partial awards only, so that's important to note. You do not need to submit any additional essays, applications, anything like that to be considered for scholarship. You will be considered based on the application that you submit for the program. So keep that in mind. Students will also use things like external grants or scholarships. For those of you who are WashU employees, you are eligible for a tuition assistance benefit after 1 year of full-time work at the university. So that's a great option for funding your degree, and we're happy to talk more about that individually with folks. Part-time employment is another option that especially part-time students will use. I think our program was really designed to fit the needs of working professionals, whether those professionals are working full-time or part-time or somewhere in between. So part-time employment. And I would also note that there are plenty of part-time job opportunities at the Brown School and at the university as a whole. Personal savings, family support, military benefits or other employer benefits. If folks are not employees of WashU, always look into your own employer benefits to see if tuition benefits are available to you. And then finally, federal student aid. So like I said, usually the students are going to use just kind of a combination of all of these things to fund their degree. In terms of admission next steps, I just want to go through a few important dates and details as you begin or continue the application process. So the application requirements, these are laid out like pretty clearly on our website. So any questions, let me know. Feel free to connect with me, but I'll run through these briefly. So we'll ask for a personal statement. We provide details within the application, but this will be a 2-page single space statement for you just to tell us about yourself, why you're interested in Master of Social Work, what you hope to do, kind of the experiences in your life that have led you up to this point. We also want to know why you're choosing the Brown School, why you would like to study here. Again, the whole prompt is outlined in our application, but those are the main things that we're going to ask you to include in your personal statement. We require 2 references, a resume or CV, transcripts from your undergraduate institution. We do require a video interview. This is probably the most unique part of the Brown School's application process. This is a recorded interview, so it's not live with an admissions representative. You'll be able to do it on your own time. There's plenty of practice questions for you to kind of get a feel for the platform that you're using. But the video interview is a series of 5 questions. And so that will be a part of your application. We also have a scholarship form that will be included in your application if you indicate that you're interested in scholarship support. So be sure to click yes on that if you'd like to be considered for scholarship support. And then we have a $50 application fee. That is the final piece of the application. We are well into our current cycle, and we are admitting students for fall 25 right now. We're coming up on our priority review deadline, which is March 1st. So if you are able to submit your application by that point, I strongly recommend it. This will give you priority access for admission decisions and also for scholarship support. All right, a few deadlines. Like I just mentioned, March 1st is our priority review deadline. After March 1st, we are still accepting applications, and admission decisions will be made on a rolling basis until our final applicant deadline of June 1st, and that's the domestic applicant final deadline. I do also want to note that we have our admitted student weekend coming up, which is April 4th and 5th. So this is another reason I think to submit your application by March 1st, because we try to admit as many students as we can so that students who are admitted have the opportunity to come to Admitted Student Weekend on campus, meet faculty members, meet current students, attend our resource fair, meet the dean, just do all the fun stuff that we're going to do at Admitted Student Weekend. We also have several upcoming virtual info sessions. And these are really fun ones because I think these are kind of geared towards students when they're in the phase of maybe being admitted to the school and thinking about their options. So we have coming up in March a session about why people chose the Brown School. We'll have one about St. Louis, everything you didn't know you'd love. We'll have another intro to the part-time program on April 15th that Marcia and I will be hosting, and then a few more that you can see there. Finally, lots of options to connect with us. So we really are here to help. We are here for students, prospective students, to make sure that you have all the information that you need to, get through the application process and make the best decision for yourself. So always reach out to our office, brownadmissions@wustl.edu, to connect with an admissions specialist, check on your application, ask any kind of questions. We also are hosting campus visits on Tuesdays and Fridays, and those, alarm went off on my phone. And those include a campus tour, an opportunity to sit in on a class, including one of Marcia's classes, and then meeting with staff and students. So lots of options for you just to kind of get a feel for the Brown School and the people that are here for you. And that's it. We are done with the presentation. This is contact information for Marcia and myself. We, like I have said a few times, we're here for you, here to support you, here to answer questions. So please feel free to reach out to us for anything. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a moment. We'll come back to us, and I actually will go ahead and stop the recording so that if you all have questions, we can answer them more individually. So thanks for folks who are joining us after the recording, and be in touch with us with any questions.